might call this place
a couple thousand different characters.
a superhero storage space.
700,000 plus comics. Popular superheroes, you could look at Batman, Spider-Man, Superman.
Superheroes do great things.
They leap tall buildings in a single bound.
He flies off of the back porch.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive.
He's always been a superhero to us.
With a quick change, this 4-year-old golden retriever goes from canine to Cape Crusader, a purebred blur of gold, a flash of fur you won't find at any comic book stores.
Come.
Though you might say he was born to wear a costume.
The Comet Dog actually is his full name on his birth certificate.
Like every good superhero, the Comet Dog has an important origin story.
It really is a story about anybody who's missing someone they love.
It's a universal truth. Missing someone is hard. Come.
Comet's owner, Bill McGinnis, was looking for a way to deal with life while his long-term girlfriend, Juliana Olson, was in Iraq working as a nurse practitioner.
Certainly never had anybody depart my life through the military.
Balad, Iraq is the hub of all ill and injured transport.
The long hours, the dangerous conditions.
And it's my responsibility to not only receive them, stabilize them, but then also prep them for flight.
Her efforts help save lives, but never enough. Olson recalls one case where a military canine died.
But he defended his owner, his handler, and lost his life as a 4-legged veteran and saved the life of his owner.
A moment shaking the foundation of even the toughest citizen soldier.
We're all fighting for our country, but fighting day to day, we're fighting for the people next to us. You know, you're not thinking about yourself, you think about those around you, and you think about your buddy.
I don't think any of us can relate to what they go through over there.
In an effort to keep her connected to friends and family, Guinness gave his dog a super makeover.
Good time.
That gave rise to an online comic book.
The name of the book is The Adventures of the Comet Dog. Missing someone is hard.
He posted pictures of Comet in his super threads and began typing up a story of comfort for Olson, read in between all the casualties.
Oh, it helps you escape, because with all the bad in life, there's also a lot of good.
Kind of digital coping mechanism meant for her eyes, and then the eyes of her fellow airmen and soldiers.
I'm like, you have to come see this.
And eventually, people they've never met.
I'd get emails from mothers who were reading the stories to their children. Come on, Comet.
Including families coping with loved ones in harm's way.
Just heartwarming to hear the impact that Comet was able to have in their lives.
The Comet Dog has no super abilities.
Laser eye beams, cape mask.
No special powers.
Cold breath.
But he's still a superhero to many.
His biggest super ability is comfort.
A comic book kind of canine.
Out of 40.
Not sold in stores.
You're welcome. Have fun.
One domino splits off into several.
Imagine each domino represents a message. Place one down, only to have it become 2.
And it goes from 2 to 400 in a very big hurry.
A virus is a very good analogy. Viruses spread, they can spread very quickly.
But what if each of these dominoes was actually a nude picture?
It's absolutely out of control.
Copied and forwarded with a velocity barely bound by gravity. Porn propagated by the speed of cell phone messaging. Just like that, an old-fashioned game like dominoes gets very serious very fast as it turns into the modern practice called sexting.
She is currently being charged with a Class I felony.
This man has a 13-year-old daughter. To protect her identity, we're not identifying him. The teen is accused of sending nude and semi-nude pictures of herself to her boyfriend.
It was an act to show him that she cared.
But like most sexting cases, the images sent from a cell phone didn't stay private.
He had gotten the photos, he started to forward them on to other boys.
Her father says she was pressured to produce more pictures or face being exposed, but the coercion ended after this dad did a random check of his 13-year-old cell phone.
I looked through the first number of photos and I found her in her underwear. We made the decision as a family to take her to the police, and we turned her in.
Is that the hardest thing you've ever had to do?
Yes.
When images of children under 18 get forwarded around, each of those people that knowingly possesses that is potentially guilty of possession of child pornography.
Waukesha County District Attorney Brad Schimmel is not involved in this girl's case, but his office is considering charges in another sexting incident where a picture was forwarded or shared with about 150 cell phones. With only a few buttons pressed, every cell phone owner could end up sharing a criminal record.
That's a felony. If the individual possessing it is under 18, it's an I felony, a low felony. If it is a person over 18, it's a higher level felony, up to 25 years of incarceration for one image. And we could charge for each individual image.
4 pictures could mean up to a lifetime behind bars. Those who do get released from prison have to register as a sex offender.
She's a 4.0 student. She's got everything going for her in her life. Within seconds, she could have destroyed a large portion of that.
Let some of these kids try to get into a good school or get a good job with that kind of baggage. It's not going to happen.
Investigators like Special Agent Eric Zetkowski of the Wisconsin Department of Justice are seeing an alarming increase in the crime.
Now it has reached an epidemic.
His first concern is for the victim. His next worry is if the cell phone image finds its way onto the internet. Adding those pictures can be found online.
Forever. Forever.
We're going to exercise judgment and try to look at the intent of the individuals involved, the age.
Meantime, prosecutors like Schimmel find themselves evaluating if a case of sexting is the result of a juvenile impulse or a deviant criminal act. The difference can be subtle. The charging decision he calls unique to each individual case.
I can tell you this, the person that is responsible for the initial distribution of the image is probably going to have a big problem.
In this 13-year-old situation, there is a way to avoid a juvenile record and sex offender label. Her father says if she never takes part in sexting again and stays on the right side of the law for 6 months, prosecutors will drop the charge. As for the boys who received her images,
the further out you get as the dominoes spread, probably the less exposure to criminal responsibility.
It's unclear what, if any, charges they face for possessing pictures that could topple a teen's future.
It's absolutely out of control. It's going to get worse.
When do the dominoes stop falling?
Hopefully before my kids get to be teenagers.
In between the stretch of road connecting Rome and Sullivan, Wisconsin, thousands assemble.
Look at the big fish.
I got some nice looking floats today. You're going to enjoy it.
They watch and witness something in between madness and genius.
What is that?
Lunacy and laughter.
Somebody got run over or something. Who cares?
Anarchy and artistry.
It's not normal praise.
If you consider Dan Boss an artist,
It's showtime.
then his paintbrush is his bobcat.
Faster, slower. Now you might have to just lower it a hair once it gets up 4 or 5 feet. Back her up.
If you'd call Boss a sculptor,
Looks nice.
then he's welding and melding machinery
Killer.
into a not-so-perfect piece, ready to roll out on display.
PVC pipe that's all haggard. A Batmobile car.
Double-decker school bus, huh?
Oh yeah, I forgot there's a pontoon boat on top too.
Welcome aboard the maiden voyage of the Big Johnson. Welcome to the 2011 Junk Parade.
It's amazing how much junk people have.
Something you don't see very often.
There are dozens of floats, each with a theme.
This is Junk Vegas.
Welcome to Junk Vegas.
Formed from a calamity of clutter, cocktail of adrenaline, engineering, and alcohol.
There's a little bit of beer involved always.
A mix of machismo, mechanized machinery, and did we mention alcohol?
A lot of alcohol, mostly alcohol.
We'd like to tell you this display is dedicated to the responsibility of recycling, but
It's about being irresponsible.
It's just about having fun.
It's the most fun we have all year. That's how boring life is around here.
but the community gets a return on their refuse.
It's a good way to raise some money.
Funds collected here go to the Sullivan Area Chamber of Commerce and local first responders.
Oh, look at this.
And firefighters are about to earn that cash. There's a Ford F-150 disguised as a big mouth bass catches fire.
A fatality?
Bass is gutted,
Casualty.
but this fish gets hooked on a line and towed away fine. Success is sometimes measured in merely getting to the end of the parade.
I'm a betting man, and I have confidence in my junk.
To make it to the finish line. If we cross there safely, we'll be fine.
But it's a junk parade. You never know what they'll do.
Redefining the phrase art is what you make of it. Proving one man's trash is another man's pleasure.
Looks almost beautiful.
Jeremy Ross, Fox 6 News.